Hello, unlimited friends. Today we are going to talk about the secret to faster manifesting anything that you want. So, in this video, I am going to share with you two things, just two little things that you need to do in order to start manifesting faster. And I mean really fast. And I mean unbelievable things will happen for you. Just need to do these two things. Let's get right into it. Hi, I'm ZMAHOON from ZMAHOON.com, and on this channel we talk about anything and everything that has to do with the law of attraction and creating an unlimited life. All right, let's talk about it. How can we accelerate the process of manifesting the things that we want? The answer is simple, but it is not easy. And the answer is you've got to stop thinking about the things that you want in order for them to manifest. Asking questions, how, when, how is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Why has it not happened so far? All of those questions are counterproductive because they actually push the things that you want away from you. And I know that it's really difficult. I know it's really difficult to not think about the things that you want. But it's like taking medicine. You know that you need this medicine in order to get better, but it doesn't taste nice. You take it anyway, right? It's hard to do, but you do it anyway because you understand the benefit of the medicine. And the same principle applies when we are using law of attraction consciously. We start understanding that the fact that we keep thinking about what we want is what keeps it from coming to us. And that is because here I'm going to explain this thing to you, and if you could just remember this, you will start looking at things differently. No matter what subject you want to improve in your life, every subject, as Abraham says, has two aspects to it: the having of it and the not having of it. So just because you're thinking about money doesn't mean that you're thinking about money from a positive place of having it. Unbeknownst to you, you might be over here thinking about the absence of money. And because it's so difficult, our thoughts zoom by at 4 seconds per thought. So it is really difficult for us to know when we are thinking a negative thought or a positive thought because it all blends in together. 4 seconds. 4 seconds, folks. You cannot watch every thought that you're thinking. So it's much better if you just stop thinking about that subject that you want to improve. So every time your thoughts go to the subject of money, stop and say to yourself, not going there. What can I think about other than money? And then firmly shift your attention to that subject. Anything, it doesn't matter. Here, I have a fork. I can start thinking about this fork. Look at that. What is this fork doing over here? Maybe I should take it to the kitchen, right? Anything, simple things. You don't have to overcomplicate it, because if you can get your mind off the subject, that's it, your work is done. So it doesn't mean that you have to start appreciating. It doesn't mean that you need to start working on this subject and start making sure that every thought you think about it is a positive thought, because that would drive you nuts. No one can do that. It is far easier to get off the subject, because guess what? Soon as you get off the subject, your inner being can become dominant. And because your inner being always looks at the subjects in your life from the point of view of your achieving what you want, when your inner being's vibration and thoughts on your behalf become dominant, then you automatically become positive and you become a magnet for those things that you want to attract into your life. So all we need to do is to relinquish control. See, we have this control problem. We want to control things that are happening in our lives. We want to control the process through which something that we want will come to us. We want to know each and every step. And that is what gets in our way. If we just let all of that go, if we tell ourselves, I have asked, and now my inner being is working on the getting of it, all I need to do is to not interfere. I don't need to micromanage the universe. Because when you worry, every time you worry, you are micromanaging the universe, because what you're saying is, it's like you're looking over the shoulders of your best employee, your most resourceful employee, and you're saying, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Right? It's like somebody needs to jump from here to here, and you can't tell this person if that jump is like 2 buildings and there's a big gap in between. You can't tell this person when to jump. They have to make that decision for themselves based on how much speed they need to gather, what they need to do. They have to decide when they're ready. If you push them, they're just going to fall. But that's exactly what you're doing, because that's what you're doing to yourself. And that's what you're doing to your inner being, because it's your inner being that's going to bring you everything that you want. The universe is going to bring you everything that you want, but you're trying to control when the universe does that, when it makes that jump, by saying, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? And that's what happens when we ask for the same thing over and over and over and over and again. If you ask for something more than twice and it does not appear, that means you need to get out of the way. That means that you are trying to control the process and it is not your job. So you can help yourself by getting out of the way, by shifting your thoughts from that subject and staying off the subject no matter what, because that's what's good for you. So you need to stay off the subject to allow the universe to start doing the things that need to be done in order to get you to where you want to go. And the way to do that is just to be conscious. If you go there, so let's say that subject is money. You want more money. Well, every time your thoughts go towards money, you've got to stop yourself and say, not doing that. So let's say here you are at the beginning of the month, right? It's maybe the 5th of the month, you've just finished paying all your bills, and now you're already thinking about next month's bills. It's not time to pay next month's bills. You don't have to think about it today. You don't have to start asking the question, how am I going to do it today? If today you just tell yourself, I'm not going to think about it until it's due date for that bill, I'm not going to think about it, I'm going to let the universe control the process, believe me, prosperity is going to start trickling into your life little by little by little. Things will happen that will surprise you. Money will start flowing from all sorts of sources, because that's how law of attraction works. And I can tell you, because I have done that. I have been there where I was that person on the 5th of the month. And I used the discipline because I knew how important it was to me, and I understood what Abraham always tells us is to get off the subject. So I decided I'm just going to trust that Abraham is right, and all I have to do is get off the subject. Did a bag of gold land at my doorstep? No. But I started noticing consistent improvements, tiny little improvements that started bringing me closer to what I wanted. And instead of saying, why is this just a small improvement happening? Why is only $50 showing up when really what I need is $2,000? I didn't do that. I celebrated the $50 because I started understanding that if I celebrate the 50, the 2000 will come. And that is the mistake that we make. A lot of us make this mistake, and I know I used to make this mistake. I used to look at the job I had and say, this is not enough money, instead of appreciating the job that I had. But that's appreciation is what turns everything around. Those little celebrations add up. So what do you have to do? Just two things. Just two things. In order to have manifestation happen faster than it has ever happened before in your life, you just need to do two things. And those two things are: get off the subject and appreciate where you are. And if you can't appreciate anything in your own life, get off the subject of your life. This is what my personal experience is. I found that it was way easier for me to appreciate trees than to appreciate my job. It was way easier for me to appreciate flowers than to appreciate the money that was in my bank account, which was nada, nothing, right? It is way easier to appreciate things that have nothing to do with your life than to try and find things to appreciate in your life. But folks, that is the secret. Just two things. You just need two things in order to fix everything. All right, that's it from me for today. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please click on that like button before you leave, and I hope that you will subscribe with the notification bell so that I can invite you back for more. Bye for now.